Kitchens are one of the most redesigned and renovated spaces in the home. Building designers, architects and kitchen specialists are often given the job of creating a practical and aesthetic design. However, some homeowners feel they can best interpret their own needs.
We're turning our fridge around and it's going to back into here.
A building designer will describe the principles and techniques he uses when creating a kitchen. Then, we will follow the progress of homeowners who've designed and implemented the construction of their own kitchen.
Most of my work these days is done on the computer for the simple reason that it gives you a 3D image, which is a very easy way for the clients to visualise the finished product. So you lay out your floor plan, which gives you your floor area for the kitchen, and then you start placing cupboards, appliances and bench tops to give you your general arrangement.
Well, with the design we wanted to achieve better layout in the kitchen, and we had a return bench, but I had wanted to break that and make it for an island. So we're going to cut the counter here, and we'll create about 1 metre space here. So our island sort of squares off and comes into my kitchen space here a little bit. Not a giant island, not a too tiny island.
After the initial clean-out, an unexpected beam and support were uncovered. This beam, which was load-bearing for half the house, had been integrated into the stud walls to be removed. So there had to be a rethink on the design for that part of the kitchen. Jeff and Tim decided to extend the wall behind which the fridge was relocated a further 300 millimetres, and then incorporated the steel pole in the new pantry space. Experience is invaluable, and drawing on that experience and doing simple things like using 2 drills, one for pilot holes and another for screws, makes the job extremely efficient. The drill bit for the pilot holes also includes a countersunk attachment, making work easy in the assembly stage. If everything is done correctly, then the assembly of the carcasses is a relatively simple operation.
Done.
The design of a bench top with a servery extending out through the window needed some original ideas for it to work. First, the servery required an accurate plywood template as a guide for cutting the Caesar stone. So that no costly mistakes were made, plans and a sketch on the plywood were included in the instructions for the cutting. Also, the hole for the sink had to be cut out of this one piece, so measurements had to be precise. Sometimes there are design problems. The pantry required changes to be made, which added to the cost.
Here we have our pantry, which I had thought to do just a very straightforward shelving solution, but it's a very deep recess and will work so much better with the basket system where you can pull the baskets out. And to make best use of the deep narrow space, we have the deep drawers, which carries an awful lot. Before I can reach everything that I would want, this can take about 40 kilos of weight. This is my best used drawer where I access the most frequently used things.
Jeff's solution was simple and involved 3 sheets of glass moving on tracks and stacking against each other when the window is fully open.
When this one slides through, it'll go past the pack.
But before any work could be done to prepare the window, the cantilevered servery had to be braced. Jeff designed simple stainless steel braces for the overhanging servery, which was fabricated by an engineering company.